film is intended for mature audiences and contains adult content, graphic language, graphic violence, nudity, and strong sexual content. Viewer discretion is advised. Like, we'll leave it up to you, but you gotta know about this stuff before getting into this whole thing, you know? I mean, straight up, one guy gets his face bitten off by a raccoon, and we show it. Oh man, do we show it. Real big close-up. And we spoke to a scientist to make sure it was, physically correct and whatever. We said, hey, scientist guy, like, how much damage could a raccoon realistically do? And he told us, a lot.
Have no shame for what you believe. Feel the black sky ecstasy. The more you move, the more you forget. You feel the bass break apart your chest. Feel the rhythm surrounding me, consuming my soul, everything. But you're an outcast, attention, or you keep on moving till you hit the floor. No se asusten. ¿Te acuerdas de mí? Matando a Ali, el alma secreta.
He's cool.
And he's Kegs. Hey, brother. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Man, we already had one technical difficulty. So we're going to do this for the second time. Only for the first three minutes or so. But who do we got on tonight?
We have, and I'm going to say it the same way I said it last time, because it's still just as true now as it was then, the legendary Bread&Circus and CrashNowhere with us tonight. Two just huge names in the game, awesome dudes, chill as hell, and we're learning some pretty interesting stuff about them. Take it away, Cole.
Well, I was just curious. So, let me ask you this. We'll start with Bread this time. Who are you inside of the game? And if Crash could follow after you, that'd be great.
All right. Well, hello to everyone. First of all, and thanks for having us on here. And yeah, I go by Bread&Circus. Currently, I fly for F-35. I'm one of the revolving commanders, as we don't have a core command. We tend to alternate command to every member until we go through the entire roster, and then we circle back to the top. But I am one of those acting commanders that are rotating, and I'm best known in the game as wingman to the big homie CrashNowhere. That's my guy. Everybody knows that, and love fighting with him. And yeah, been playing the game for about a year. And started as a casual thing, has become damn near an addiction to some point. But I'm sure many people can relate to that. And yeah, that's where we're at so far. I mean, there's a long history, which I'm sure we'll get into, but that's the gist of it.
Nice. Crash?
All right, sounds good, brother. So yeah, putting on voice to the name, so this is CrashNowhere. Like my brother said, Brad, that we fly with F-35 Armageddon, known as CrashNowhere. Probably one of the top players in Deathmatch, you put it that way. And then, yeah, we've flown a little bit over a year now, and then many matches with Brad on different squadrons, and now we kind of join effort and fly a lot together. Wingman with also our brother Merovec. You also know him. I got an interview a few weeks ago, and then it's a quick intro. Yeah, we'll get more in details as we start talking here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciated that time here to talk a little bit.
And Merovec is probably the single reason that we're still going right now. He gave us a big boost, and not just legitimacy, but I think ears. So again, we love Merovec, and wish him well. So Kegs?
Well, I mean, I actually just flew in F-35's last war and got to hang out with these guys. And, dude, their squadron structure is awesome. It's chill as all get out. Bunch of awesome dudes in there. I mean, it was a blast. I haven't I don't think many people actually knew that yet, so there's a spoiler, I guess. But didn't get to fly with these two as much as I would have liked to. But I will say, like I said before, whenever I see them on the same side, I know I got to hurry up and get some kills because they're going to be eaten. And then I know when they show up on the other side, I better ding one before the other one gets on my six because it's always a shit show. It's a crapshoot, and you always know that your number is going to be up at least 2 or 3 times that match.
At least.
At least, yeah. I've come unscathed against them guys once, and I'm pretty sure they both disconnected. Just saying. Because we all know I'm not that good. I'm not that good to come out with a goose egg for deaths against you two. It's not. There's no way. But
just being humble. You're just being humble. I don't call you Cool-Kegs for nothing.
Well, I appreciate that, my man, but y'all are the real killers, man. Especially going up against both of you at the same time. There's a reason I was forced into learning how to do some maneuvers, and it was because of you guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome, he says. Well, let me ask you this. Let's start with Bread, and then we'll go into Crash as well. But who are you guys outside of the game? Like, who are you as real people?
That's a great question. Who are we outside of the game? I'm a 41-year-old male in Southern California. I am a high school chemistry teacher. So I'm at my day job, my 9 to 5, more like my 8 to 8:30 to 3:30 p.m. actually. I've been doing that for a couple years. I'm planning on earning my administrative credential pretty soon here, so that I can upgrade to, make a real life upgrade into the administrative side of education, meaning like vice principal or a principal position eventually in the future. Because it's real out here, man. The cost of living is high, as we all know. Southern California is just different in that regard. And as far as my personal life, that's my job. And then what I like to do for fun is obviously play the game, interact with the bros in the Discord community. I enjoy family a lot. Like I'm very close to my family. They've always been there for me, and I try to be there for them as much as possible. And, I enjoy, right now I'm enjoying some downtime. I got summer vacation. I got 2 months off, so I've been just chilling and enjoying the weather, the beach, the vibes, reading even a book right now. So I'm just trying to do the things that I don't get to usually enjoy during the grind session of the school year.
Yeah.
And that's who I am pretty much in a nutshell, right?
Well, small applause for you being a teacher. Like, seriously, that means a lot to me.
Guys.
And I guarantee it meant a lot to your students. But how about you, Crash? Who are you outside of the game?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, great question as well. Yeah, my name is CrashNowhere. So outside that game, I'm a 35-year-old male. I live in Utah, but I grew up originally in Puerto Rico. That's why you see me fly the Puerto Rican flag every time, unless I change name and want to hide. Right, but then 35. I'm an industrial engineer graduate from University of Puerto Rico in Mayagüez, and then but I'm currently work for a medical device company known globally. I don't want to mention names, but I'm a project manager with them, and then supporting different initiatives and projects with suppliers. We have multiple divisions and product portfolios, so it's very, very fun, very dynamic kind of role. So working from home makes it easier to kind of balance the work life and if I want to play the game. But at least outside the game and work, so I'm in Utah. It's very outdoorsy state. We used to go snowboarding every other weekend. At least I was before having kids. So I'm happily married over 8 years now. We got 2 kids. Oldest is 4-year-old girl. The youngest is 2, almost 2 years old. And then before that, we went snowboarding every other weekend. It's very outdoorsy. We like camping, hiking, going the river. Here in Utah, there's a lot of nice scenery. So I have a sports car. I know in the Discord channel, most have seen my car. And then we like to drive that fast through the different canyons and roads that we have here. So it's not just the game, it's just, we can play the game boost if we need to, or just put a point like back in the day with the different wars. But also, I like some downtime like this last war. Like, Keg or Chris was mentioning that I couldn't play much, was busy, at least with work, and the whole Saturday we were out going to Wyoming, like buying liquor, right? So in Utah, if you know, liquor is not very great here, but that's why we just drive outside and have fun with the cars and buy something good. But yeah, it's a little bit about me.
Well, Viva la Puerto Rico!
Well, I can say from this long of talking to you two gents that you are obviously much more educated than myself.
I just know things. I guess like there's always learning. Even from the kids, man, you still learn something. There's no cap, right? So.
Oh, absolutely. I learn new shit every single day. I'm just saying that your jobs require much more paper learning than anything I've ever completed in my life. Like I went to trades. I went to like a half-ass trade school, learned how to run equipment, learned what size screens I need to make certain materials, and now I run a crushing and screening crew for my company that I work for. And like I said, much less education needed for this. This is just like cumulative observation is all I have.
And I'll be honest, it's not much like books and all that stuff. It's very technical, right? And you need a degree, whether it's industrial, mechanical, or whatnot. It's hands-on, visualize it, and the technical. If you can apply those theorems or technicality to it, you'll do good. Yeah.
Right. Well, like I said, my boss just calls me and says, "Hey, we're making 22A road gravel." I go 10-4. I need this this set of screens, and blah blah blah, and I need this much time to change over, and then we're ready to rock and roll. And he just goes, "Okay, cool, get her done."
Nice.
So
much. I can say I'm always advocating for trade schools because we kind of moved away from trade schooling in the past couple of decades. You know, people forget that the importance of those kind of things. So I always make sure to bring in a guest speaker that's involved with that kind of stuff, trading.
I mean, I'd be happy to come on. I'll just throw it out there as an offer. I'd be happy to come on through like a Zoom thing or something and talk to the class for you.
That'd be awesome, man. We'll work something out for sure.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I've done the trades my whole life. That's all I know. So.
On the Zoom call, you're gonna be like business on top and party on the bottom, something like that.
I'll have to go buy a mullet to wear for this. I don't actually have one. I used to back in the day. I keep it. So I did a couple years with Michigan Department of Corrections. It's the only non-trades thing I've ever done. And from that, I just got so used to having my hair done up in like a military high fade style that anytime it touches my ears now, I get irritated and I go have it cut down again. So I don't change much anymore.
No, what I was preparing, like you're gonna dress up nicely, the bottom up is nice, and then you're like wearing shorts or a PJ or something.
Honestly, dude, I'll probably be in like a pair of jeans and my tank top like I usually am all summer.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
I'll lose my job.
When it comes to the game, like, what's your approach to the game and like the philosophy for both of you?
Go for it, Greg.
Want me to go first? I can only talk about that much, I guess. It's been a long road. I think we're like even talking to Brad a few days ago. It's like we were CL4, and then that's kind of where everything changed. Right, change it to good, to more challenge, because we start seeing the top 100 players. So with that approach, because at first, when we started, you get a few planes, and then at least they reel you in with the one adding like $2 deals, and then that's when you start spending. And then, but when really at least changed the approach to the game was that CL4, and then learning from the other players, I guess you put it that way. So I've been using different tactics. Again, I can only talk about that much. I don't play payload or skirmish, but mainly different tactics, like when you start playing with Zeus, Low, and the Sagas and the Alasaf and those big guys. They use Gav, I was using Flare, so it's kind of that tactical and approach, trying to use them, different missiles. And then also, I've been using advanced control since the beginning, so I don't know. cannot say much about the other controls, but that helps a lot. And then kind of teaching the same approach and strategy to the other players. Like Brad, he was using flare, like Chaz back in the day, like kind of made him change to flares, and also the different missiles like auto aims or trackers, etc. So I don't know if that answers your question, but we'll see what Brett says, and I can add more to it.
So, basically to describe our approach to the game would be constantly evolving and adapting to the climate of the game. You know, the players and the teams, and we're not very like organized in what we're gonna do, but we just know each other so well. We've flown thousands of battles together. I know what he's doing. He knows what I'm doing. We've tried, like I said, we're evolving. So we tried, like, I remember back in the day, Crash would be like, hey, and Meadow and I would be with him flying, and he'd be like, why don't we group together? Or sometimes it'd be like, one of us fly on top, one in the middle, one on the bottom. Or why don't we try this, and why don't we try that? And it's evolved to where it's just like, you know what, we're going to fucking, I mean, I don't know if I can cuss on here, I'm sorry.
So you'll get paid. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, good. Okay, we're going to destroy whoever's on the other side. Like, do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Metal's going to do his thing. My style, I mean, I can speak for my own specific style when I'm coming at you. It's like violent. It's like it's been described in English chat once to me. Somebody said my style was very disrespectful, quote unquote. And I really appreciated that. I'll be honest with you.
You said that made me feel good.
Yes, and recently I asked another pilot, like, because I flew against this person and asked them, what's it like on the other side? You know, out of curiosity, you know, in my sick, twisted mind, this person was like, it's scary. Like, it's scary. You're coming out. And I asked the person specifically, what is it like when I'm coming, like, at you? Because I always wondered, you know, because I spin. You know, I've had people watch my streams and squad, and they get dizzy. They're like, I can't watch you. You're just, like, spinning. Even Crash will be like, you don't need to spin that much. And I'm like, I know, but, like, literally I enjoy it.
No, I really do. I really do need to do it.
Yeah, it's just part of my game. Like,
dude, honestly,
art. If I can say it, it's like an art. It's like a ballerina. Like, you're like a ballerina in this time. Like,
that's exactly what. That's why it's always so fun to go against you, because my style is very similar to yours.
Yes, love it.
So the two of us going at it is like, all you see is planes flipping and rolling and doing dumb shit, and all of a sudden one of us goes poof. It's great.
Crashing into someone.
or to the side of the volcano. Never done that one before.
I would describe my approach as emotional. Depends on my mood. You know, like I described to you, my typical approach is like violent. I'm gonna come at you, like I'm gonna gut you. That's my goal every time, in a very humble way, but I'm gonna go at you. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I get a thrill every time I see you guys, man. I get that little anticipation in the pit of my stomach.
Yes, and it's just beautiful because flying with Crash, like I said, has resulted in me like kind of just evolving and adapting and studying, and he'll break down my game like you said. And yeah, we went from I was using chaff to I switched over to flares with him, and now we're back to chaff because of the game climate. Like I said, T7 forced us to. I was dying too much. I wasn't used to that. I wasn't enjoying it, obviously. And Crash took the first step to try it out. He's like the trailblazer. He's the one that'll take the first step to try something else, because he loves. This guy's like flying with Crash is just insane. Like, this guy is flying and killing and still pulling up the stats like mid-game and like looking at the map, analyzing who's what, reading your firepower, and he still comes with like 6-7 kills sometimes. It's just crazy. And me, I'm just trying to get out there and kill everyone. So, like I said, I describe it as very yin and yang, very opposite in the way that we fly, but I think that's what makes it work. And then you throw Metal into the mix. I mean, he's the veteran. He's got the wisdom, you know. He's just out there having a great time with us, and ultimately, that's what brings me back to the game every single time, you know. And I'll stop it there because I can go on and on.
Well, I'm just curious.
A lot more. Yeah, I can add more. It's like I also want to touch about that background when we start using chaff again with the T7s, because like we got, how do you want to put it? Yeah, we got demolished by 3 guys from KSA, and then it's Alasaf, Saga, and then I think it was 5BZ-ish, or however you want to call that. So they all just we were using flares back then still with the D7. It's like, no, this cannot happen again. And then after that, I started using chaps, and yeah, different story now.
Well,
so even Alasaf says, like, oh shit, it's like, right now we're using chaps, it's gonna be difficult now. So it's like, I think that's kind of the main story. Because I tried with the T6, but it wasn't as strong or as a good defense. And then I just kept with the flares with the T7. Now it's a different game.
Well, I'm so interested about this is kind of a segue, but I'm seriously interested in how you guys got your call signs.
Yeah, we CrashNowhere, like I said, I was born in '87. I think that movie came out early '90s. It's called Hackers.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Crash Override.
And then it wasn't kind of at the same time that Dialogue Network started. Oh, we're gonna go way back. So Dialogue Network started, and then my brother he started with Acid Burn, kind of a username in the internet.
Yeah.
Part of that movie as well. And then CrashNowhere, so it wasn't a call sign on that movie, but it was Crash Override.
Right.
But instead of using Override, so I decided to use CrashNowhere.
That's fucking great.
And it's been stuck since then, I guess.
What about you, Brad?
Yeah, so basically, sorry if you can hear the dogs in the background, but there's only nothing.
No, you're all good.
But basically, I was not a big gamer before this game, and I had my Apple ID set up as Bread&Circus based on the basically this phrase referring to superficial appeasement. So in other words, like very basic level of entertainment. And the term comes from Latin, and the Latin term was panem et circenses, which translates to bread and circuses, which is this idea back in either Greek or Roman times, I can't remember. But basically this idea that the governments can control the people if you just give them bread, which would be food, right? Keep them satisfied in abundance with food and things like that. And also with circuses, which was the main form of entertainment back in the day.
Food and entertainment. And yeah, absolutely.
And I just think that there's some truth to that, that we are conditioned to experience sometimes what we think could be, and oftentimes is, a superficial form of entertainment that lasts just a moment, but doesn't really
matter,
satisfy to the core that other things can do.
Any sports, any sports,
Exactly. Any big arena type situation. So I brought that theory into my call sign because I already had established that in Apple ID and all the other things. I wasn't a gamer, but whenever I did play, I would have that. I just brought it over, and people would ask me, well, what's it about? And so I get a chance to kind of now reveal that's exactly what it is. But much to my surprise, it kind of backfired because it's not superficial. It's not just a game like some people would suggest. In many ways, I've made a lot of good friends here that I hope I can keep for the rest of my life. Like, obviously, Crash one of them. And I think that's a welcome surprise because I didn't know about Discord. When I played this game, I didn't know what Discord was. A lot of people didn't know what it was. And I finally hopped in, last August when I joined. I got recruited for Pro. That was one of their must-dos, requirements. You must have a Discord. So I hopped in, and I just... the rest is history, man. You meet a lot of great people. You got a lot of things in common, and a lot of things not in common, and that's not a bad thing. I get to learn from those people too. So, yeah, it's kind of been ironic just to discover that. Yes, there's bread and circus type situations, but if you actually take the time to get in, go in depth with this game and the community, you'll get out of it what you put in. So, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yep.
Now we're on this podcast because everybody sees what we put into it. Yep. Now we get to give back, so it's nice.
It's 100%. Cakes?
I'll just say that went a lot deeper than I thought it was going to. That's actually a really, really cool call sign. I like that. That's awesome. Let's see here. So, why do you guys still play at this point? Just lay it out out there. What? Where are we at here? And whoever wants to can go first. It don't matter. Whoever wants it, up in the air.
For me, this is Crash. I'm invested already. But like, if I stop right now, it's just throwing all that money that we put in the game since we started. It's the garbage. But yeah, it's still fun, at least for me. It's still a challenge. Reminds me of that good day with Ace Comeback back in the day with the PlayStation. And I just have it on my phone. I can play anywhere. But mainly it's just that is I'm invested. And then just personal goals. I want to max the F15 as quick as possible. And then be able just to play without vehicles, kind of some goals. And currently now I want to keep playing more because I'm closer to the top 100. And then I just want to see how quick I can get there and then kind of keep that. But yeah, that's mainly for me.
Yeah. What about you, bud?
Yeah, so for me, the reason I keep playing is mostly the people. I'm going to be honest. Like, a lot of the brothers that I have in this game keep me coming back for more. I love the camaraderie. I love the community. I love that it's constantly changing, the game. There's good and bad changes. There's controversial decisions made by the developers, but I'm not so impacted by it all. I'm just here for the ride kind of thing, and I'm just here to win. I'm here to give it 100% every battle. And like Crash was saying, you do set personal goals. I remember when I was just starting out last year, looking at the top 100 and thinking, dang, I would see Woken up there and I'd be like, man, that's freaking awesome. I want to get up there. And for it to be like happening, I'm in like 46 right now, I think. Mm-hmm. It's just a really cool feeling. I enjoy it. I was like, no, I barely cracked 100 during Christmas time last year. And to be able to say that I've continue to climb is really great. It's been therapeutic somewhat. My mom passed away like 2 years ago, so it's been kind of a way for me to just get my mind off of things and meet people who also have a story to tell. And then that's how you bond with people. So for me, it's mostly the people, but obviously the competition is amazing as well. I do love a good battle, as we all know, and I do look forward to flying with Crash more and Metalvic more and all the guys in F-35 and even people that aren't in F-35. I've also been known to fly with Rock Squad once in a while. I think I've done like 4 wars with them. Yeah. And that's also a privilege too. So it's a different vibe, different energy out there, and it's all good. I'm just here for the good times, honestly.
Well, it sounds healthy.
Don't get me started, Brett. I'm gonna cry here. We miss you when you move there.
You ain't feeling that one.
Well, let me ask you. I guess the next question is: have you guys ever had an incident like something that kind of, I don't know, I guess rings a bell?
Incident in what kind?
Like an incident.
Yeah, give us a little.
I have
a little hint. That's all we need.
Well, I have in my notes one incident. So I don't know.
Like as in.
I don't know.
I don't recall.
Yeah, and we can cut this out. We'll end up cutting this out. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, long and the short, it said one incident from. I have no idea. So.
Like somebody calling you out on the game or something like that, or
maybe. Is there a specific incident?
I think like going back to when this is Crash, like going back to that comment about when we hit CL4, everything changed, right? So we started seeing kind of more challenging players, and then so back at least in the Facebook group, I'm gonna say out loud there was I was a choppy back then. So posting videos, screenshot and whatnot, and a bunch of stuff, and then calling like challenging or calling up players. It's like you better be good or something like that, etc. And then so I'm gonna call his name what's game tag name. So Mirror. So he started posting a bunch of comments on different posts. So he was like challenging me and then this and that. But it was kind of fun. It's like challenging. Because I know what I'm worth, I know how good player I am. I know he was. I didn't know back then that was Mirror, and then I even stuck his name on the post that I posted for Mirror. It's like, I got you like a few times. You better upgrade that F18, etc. And then I even say on my comment like, Mirror is good. and this and that. It's like I'm kind of at that level of player, and then I think one of those comments was like, oh, you're paying in the game, and that's how you're moving up quickly instead of just playing the game and not paying.
Yeah.
And something about you need time to fly or hours of play or something like that. It's like, oh, this is not like an airplane or something like that you need to fly 1,000 hours to move up. It's just a game. It's just you hit a button here and there, and then you just play and have fun. But I think that's kind of one of those. And then there's always these new rookies coming along. Oh, I'm better than you, etc. Blah blah blah. And then we start looking at their call sign, but they had like 30% win rate, very crappy, and all that stuff. There's always some new guys out there, but it's like you quickly call their shit. It's like, and that's not right. You don't know who you're talking to. Like, ask around who's CrashNowhere is, and then this and that. But it's just, I think that's kind of the main incident, mainly with Mira. But then at the end, he's a cool guy. I don't know if you had a chance to talk to him, and yeah.
No, we'd love to have him on.
Again, right, so we have fun, so nothing personal.
Yeah, no. It's a game, like you guys
That's
said.
my brother Crash, man. One thing I love about Crash, one of the many things I love about Crash is he's always willing to go to war in the battlefield flying or online in Facebook, and he's going to tell you how it is. And it's just like it's just funny to watch it all happen because he's just, if you rub him the wrong way, like, he's going to let you know. And if he sees you in the skies, I hit the brakes and just watch it. I get a front row seat to the massacres. It's a certain pilot, so I'm ready for that. And but personally, I tend to lay low. I don't really let the chatter get to me, and I don't participate in those things. I like to give off good energy to people and just try to be positive with everyone. There's already enough like that going on around, so I like to turn it on its head and just tell people good job and give tips and pointers to the up and comers. But this is great. It's a great balance between Crash and myself because I do read all the stuff. I just barely ever post anything. I like to let the flying people talk. But again, that's how we're very different, and we attract each other because of that.
Yeah. Well, and I told you guys this in the pre-interview, but it just didn't seem right to have you guys on separately. You guys are so close that you're synonymous with each other. But let me give Kegs the final question. Kegs?
Oh, there's another one? Am I missing it?
Very last one.
Well, then they just cover their upcoming pilot's message?
Some.
Mind your place, you little rascal SOB. That's what it sounded like. I mean, if you guys want to expand on that, but that's what I extrapolated from that last bit.
Yeah.
I think we can go as deep as we can. We don't have to stop it. Sure, but yeah, this is Crash again, CrashNowhere, and I know mainly if you're new to the game, just try to learn the different game modes, right? Figure your strength. For me, deathmatch is what it is. You get more points from that match than the other ones. It's quicker if you can make it quicker. It can be long if you want to make it longer, but compared to payloads and skirmish is good. It's fun. When I play with Bread and Merovec, I call it deathmatch, but that's what I do, right? So I just fly and just kill. And then I think we did one match, Bread. I think that I did 5, you did 3, or vice versa, and then we just did 10 kills and not even a single target. So it's like, I think find your game mode that you're best at it, and then with a different tier jet, so it's gonna be a little bit to get the other ones. You can skip, you can still play with the F-14 if you want to milk it all the way to T7s. The different game modes I've seen, at least for deathmatch, focus on armor and firepower. The rest really doesn't matter. The reason I say that because when I had the T6, the F-35, mobility, for example, it was 2.7. You put it that way, I think they changed the stats now, but it was 2.7. And I was flying against people that had 5, 6 plus mobility, and I was dominating them. So it's kind of more around advanced control techniques.
Yep.
As well, so you can fly around them, slow, fast, etc., and then you can catch them on the slow chase, and then just throw a tracker or an auto aim right under jet. With skirmish, a little bit more speed to it, But if your pockets are deep, you can just power up and then use fast missiles or some auto aims, and you can get some targets quickly as well. If you also practice machine gun with the advanced control or the other basic controls, you can do it that way as well. So it's a good technique. But yeah, try to play in teams as much as you can. Learn your other guys' techniques, mainly in skirmish. That helps to play in teams. Payload as well. Payload is gonna be a long game, but very few points if you put it that way. But at least attackers versus defenders, there's some strategies around those, and then you can plan ahead and know which planes to attack first or which planes to defend first, etc. With Deathmatch, you can be a solo player. That helps a lot, but it all depends on like what enhancement you use, right, and what countermeasure you use as well. Missiles, yeah. So there's a lot of auto trackers and auto aims users out there. Those are the best ones right now. The other ones, you have to kind of align and figure out what's the best approach when you're chasing the enemy. I know they took away practice mode. That helped me a lot when I was starting. So it kind of sucks right now there's no practice mode, so you can either use the different missiles or enhancement and countermeasures, and then try the different controllers as well. But mainly it's that, and then I also want to touch about kind of the strategy why we playing things more often than we were used before. So at least with teams, you get that dynamic and that you start learning from your other teammates, and then it makes it harder for the opponents as well to win the match. So that's kind of the main reason that we're doing it, just to dominate kind of the match, whether it's skirmish or deathmatch. And then that's what we're playing teams. We've been playing alone as well, even before we joined F35, so we were doing good, meat and bread. And then you can see our stats in the game, so that does by itself. And a lot of players kind of complain why you're always playing teams, but they don't know kind of the reason behind it, because we've been through big wars, right? Many times. I lost count how many big wars we have done. We went before Booster, we reached 100k points, and that wasn't an easy task. Now with Booster, it's easy. You can do 200, 300. And then the recent one that I want to name him and give kudos to him, Saga, he reached 1 million points. So freaking one-man army. So it's like that dude can run one squadron, 7 people, and just win it by himself.
Yeah.
So it's a different era, right? But it's easier, so at least it's open to everybody. So at least you can try that. But that's why I can always at least personally, I step away from just getting those big wars, playing alone. I think similar way Bread and Merovec and the other guys and bros that we've known to F-35 Armageddon, that we just now for the fun of it, playing in teams and dominate the match, and then just waiting for the other people just to complain on the chat, like playing in teams, X, Y, and C, auto aims, trackers, chaff, etc. It's just tactics and strategies that you're gonna be learning as you go through the game. And I'm gonna mention it again. CL4 for me and Brett was a game changer, because now we were playing against those top 100 guys and more challenging games.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to, like, what Keg and Breeze and probably Brett and Metal and the other guys, when they see me on the other side, try to learn from those guys. Even though if you lose or you get killed 5 times, trying to learn, like, what do they use? What missiles hit me or kill me? Are they using chaff? When are they activating? Are they using flares? Are they using advanced control? So it's like those tactics, at least I'm a learner from top 5 strengths. So that's kind of why I apply that to the game and learn and adjust, and then see if that works, and then keep it.
Yeah.
So
or join F-35 and learn from, you guys yourselves.
Right, Brad? Got anything?
I would,
Well, I mean, that gives you a peek into the mind of CrashNowhere. It's an incredible place to learn from.
Yep.
It's humbling. It's intriguing. It's always interesting. He's always got something to say. And I just like a student of the game myself, just like how you described, watching him play and listening to his feedback, humbling myself enough to make those changes that he would suggest, even though I didn't necessarily agree with it at the time. When you reap the rewards from, your humility and being studious like that, you start to see, hey, he was right, he got it right. And then for the up and comers, I would definitely suggest joining a squad, and looking for the right squad. I think is important. There's going to be, but we're like Crash said, we're in a new time in the game. There's many squads trying to get that number one spot, and sometimes that comes with a big price tag, not only monetarily speaking, but with time and energy invested also. And we came from a squad that did a lot of that called Grow, which a lot of people are familiar with. And we did play a lot of big wars and spent a lot of time flying alone. I missed flying with the brothers, but in order to put up big points, I had to boost and fly alone to keep up. And it just wasn't as enjoyable. And now that we let go of that pressure, not to say that we gave up, we just had to make a collective decision, because otherwise we probably wouldn't still be here playing, the way that we are. As you've seen many pilots, veterans, like, step away from the game because they chose to stick to the grind and keep on going. If you want this to be, if you're looking for longevity, I suggest finding the right squad with the right squad culture that's going to promote flying in teams, camaraderie, brotherhood, sacrifice. I take a lot of pride in our squad, F-35, because when one of the brothers can't put up points, they're going to communicate to us exactly why that is, and we're going to communicate to the brother or brothers that we got their back. We got your back. I'll cover you this time. Get us back next time if you can. And so when they come back, there's an unwritten rule where, okay, I understand that they pulled me through the last couple of wars. Now I'm going to do my part. Yeah. And obviously we don't always get that reciprocity, but when changes have to be made, of course, we make changes, let people go, or bring new people in to find that synergy. But all in all, yeah, I think Crash just summarized it best when he said, when you hit Kernel 4, that's when you're going to see the big dogs like us in the skies, and just be ready, come with your best missiles. Try not to complain, try to get better. Understand that all the weapons and countermeasures are there for a reason. It's accessible to all. We're not cheating. We're not boasting about anything. We're just using the resources that we have available to us, just like everyone else.
Well said.
We tend to be more effective at it.
So, you guys, you said you're both about a year old, right?
On the game,
in the game?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you guys remember back when it was skirmish only and there were no other game modes?
No, we were after that.
You were after that? Okay. Because that was
already there.
Okay. Yeah, because when I started, we were doing wars, and the only thing you had was skirmish, and there was always the little trick there. And if anyone still plays skirmish, you might still be able to use this trick. There's always one guy that goes for the balloons right off the get. If you burn ass and get over to him and pop his ass and then pop the balloon, if he's got damage on it, you just earned yourself double points right off the get.
I was maybe add more to that. It all depends on the map, and then like I said, I don't play skirmish much, but when I'm playing with Bread, I typically play in teams. I don't go by myself in skirmish. That's suicide. But we typically do that. Depends on the map. Sometimes your position, you're closer or in a good range to the targets. Even for me, I can focus on jets and killing the other planes. But then if I'm close to the targets, I'm just going to pop up the power up, throw auto aims, and then finish with the machine guns. And I've got one or two targets, and then I can focus on the other jets. So that's why it says, like, the strategy is to playing in teams than just by yourself, mainly in skirmish. And then, yeah, you can have the other wingman just focus on the balloons or the chips. And then at least in our team, kind of I'll play deathmatch while skirmish, right? So I just focus on the other guys and then just kill them. But
oh, for sure. Like I said, that's where, like, a lot of times, I'm sure you guys have seen me do it. As soon as the match starts, I kick an auto aim off. That's where that started from. Because you could usually get that one guy that's going for the balloons. You could usually get him to pop his flares right away if you could get that auto aim to go after him. And then, like I said, if you let him get close enough and you left a lock on him, you could switch over to clusters. And that's why I still load clusters to this day, is because as long as things are grouped up together and you got clusters, you got a pretty good fighting chance of making like 2 or 3 things explode in one shot.
Yep.
Guys, gonna put it out there. Bluster don't work on me.
Sir, I have screenshot evidence that is false.
Controversy.
Yeah, some matches I can see like the fireworks on my screen. It's like, oh, I got hit by the clutcher. Okay, I keep going. And then other matches, I count them. It's like probably 10. What are they called? The pew 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 missiles. I forgot what that.
Irish tees, I think. Irish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They throw both of them. Counted 10. It's like I keep going. It's just fun. How the armor on the F-15.
See, lately I've actually been having a lot of luck with the Astras.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
T7 update. Ever since the T7 came out, they
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the new ones, but yeah, I've been having a lot of luck with the Astras because a lot of times they act like a tracker now, and they're almost as fast as a fast missile.
I describe it the Astras as like the fast missile and the tracker had a baby.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's exactly it too.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
To add to that, they don't work on me as well.
Fake news. Fake news.
I'll switch to auto aims and I'm gonna get you. So it's just.
You see, and that, sir, Crash, sir, you are the reason that I said F flares, by the way, and went to chaffs.
Yep.
Because every time I chase you, you'd hit me with an auto aim. I'd be like, that son of a. Now I see you and I go, pop chaff. I get one shot before he gets to shove that thing up my afterburner, and I'm gonna use it. Dang it!
Use chaff, and then when they fade, so I just throw in a little bit of strategy, so at least it's a better match next time to the listeners. So use chaff, just time it well. Don't do it weakly, right? If you see an
Exactly.
just dive down.
Is everything.
Yeah, dive down and then you can evade the auto aims, but don't activate the chaps quickly because that's it. I'll follow you and I'm gonna get you after 10 seconds.
See, that's what I do. Is I stick on your tail and I shoot at your teammates, and then as soon as your chaff wears off, I focus on you because I know you're coming for me one way or another.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like when your chaps fade, be ready to shield at least so you can have that extra protection. And then at least what I do, and another strategy out there, so you guys can use it when you're in that slow chase using advanced control, any other basic controls. So you'll have enough seconds that you can also reactivate the shafts on that chase. So you have a little bit, opportunity to survive and then just attack. So at least that's kind of my approach to the game lately.
Yeah.
And that's after tens of literally thousands of battles worth of analysis.
Yeah, learning, with the different players.
These revelations don't just come about. Like you're gonna have to spend. You have to put in your time to learn the nuances of the game, right? It's like an art when you're
for sure.
Yeah, when I played with Low and Sales, I learned to do the slow chase because that's kind of how they operate. I don't think they use advanced controls, but at least they will do the auto aim and then follow with a tracker. So that strategy I learned from them, from Low and Sales, so giving them credit for that. And then the slow chase, they always have like 5+ mobility, and I'm with like 2.7 with the F-35 back in the day. So I learned that slow chase with them, and I was getting them. They still dominated me back then when we were like low rank. And then with the other players, like, okay, I see they're using chaff, and then kind of start counting and prepping those seconds. And when they fade it, so throw 2 trackers or something like that, and then it will get them every time. But it's just learning their techniques and what missiles they use and how they fly, I guess.
See, that's where I'm behind the curve on upgrading my 15 because I kind of took a little hiatus there for a minute because of work and other things. You know, life just got stupid busy on me, and I'm like, you know what, I don't have time right this minute. And I took a bit of a break and whatnot, so I'm way behind the curve on my F-15. And that's where I kind of missed my Su-30 because that thing was like very, very close to maxed out. And if you slapped a mobility sticker on there with a firepower sticker, it was just time to go have some fun because that thing would just eat.
Yeah,
and now
to add to that, like even the T6, if you have a max, you have a good chance to win against T7s. yeah, just power up. You have to throw more missiles, but at least depends on your strategy in the game or play. But yeah.
Yeah.
And
See, I'm a dogfighter at heart. I like you said, it reminds me a lot of Ace Combat, and that's all I ever did there. So I just dogfight the hell out of it, and that's why I feel like the SU fit me well. And then when Tier 7 came out, I was gonna go SU-47 just because it was that same mindset. But then I saw the American jet in the F-15 stole, and I'm like, I gotta.
it's a great jet, very versatile.
It really is. You know, like I said, if I slap a mobility sticker on it, I'm still above 3.2 or whatever. So it does okay. You know, mobility is like my favorite thing about this game. Because if I can snap around fast while you're still in your turn and wait for you, and my lock happens as you're coming around, you haven't locked on me yet, and I can shoot, and by the time you're locked, you're dead.
Yeah.
And you're flying advanced controls?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But I fly advanced controls. I fly advanced controls with a joystick, not with phone tilt.
Yeah, you have to use the phone tilt. Try it off wars.
Oh, dude, I can't phone tilt. I've tried it.
You get easy. Yeah, it's fast.
You hit the barrel rolls.
Yeah.
But it's not an extreme tilt either. People think you have to like really tilt it. It's like a very subtle thing.
Yeah,
you just gotta
judge. Yeah.
It is very subtle, and I feel like that's why it doesn't work for me because it is so touchy. Whereas the with the stick, the advanced with the stick, I can flow, I guess, better in my mind into what I want to do. So it just works better for me. I don't know. I've shared my control layout with a bunch of guys. Like, hey man, you know, they say the phone tilt doesn't. I'm like, dude, try this. You know. Try it out.
Yeah, when you do that, try staying below them. Follow the red arrow and try staying below them because you'll have better mobility, kind of better controls versus somebody that is using the basics, right? So if you stay below them, you'll get a better chance. Yeah, that's another tactic. With advanced control, I'll try to stay below the players. I follow the red arrow, but I try to stay below. So they will have a harder time pointing down their jet and basic control than somebody is using advanced controls.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
right.
let me ask you this, boys.
I just snap a roll and just send her.
Did y'all have a good time? You know, coming on here, was it as big a deal as it seemed to be?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we keep talking, but I know we don't want to make it a 2-hour podcast, but yeah, it's fun.
No, you guys are more than fine. I was just curious. Would you guys be willing to come back in season 2?
Definitely, sure. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Well, honestly, we can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming on to begin with. We actually have Dr. Chips coming on right after you guys this week. So, is there anything you'd like to say to Dr. Chips if you know him?
Oh, yeah, it was an honor flying with him on his last war. I know he has my respect. He's a very good gentleman. Even the wars that we have with their squadron and all the drama and crap that goes in Discord, he's always been nice and respectful. And then at least I had the opportunity. So he wrote me directly to at least join his squad for his last war. And I'm gonna say this right now. He knows also. It's like it was my first time jumping to another squad to fight a war for them, and then jumping back.
That's
so
awesome. Yeah.
Since I joined Rogue, I never jumped to other squad. And then Brad and Mara and myself, we moved to F-35 with Relic and those guys that they put together. And even there, I got reached out by different people needing help. I never done it. And then with Chip, I had to, I guess, I had to like at least fly the last war with him, and was an honor to fly with him, and yeah, looking forward to his podcast. But yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, that was a big deal. And I told LAA in the server, like, he doesn't understand, correct? He doesn't jump around like that. So savor this moment, you know. That's a big honor on his part. So.
Well, we
yeah,
can't.
For Dr. Chips, I mean, I didn't get to know him as well as I would have liked, probably, in my time playing, but he was always very classy. He let me be in their server, and always had nothing but good things to say about us and our competitiveness. So he's always been a very humble person and a great leader as far as I can see. So yeah, just wishing him a happy retirement.
We'll definitely reach out to him. He's still on Discord, and we're trying to get him to become at least a contributor on the podcast. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, you got to come back. You got to talk to us again. But with that said, I'm gonna say I'm Cool,
and I'm Kegs, and we're the fuck hell, boys.
Heading out south wherever we are now. I must have slipped and got turned around. But just up ahead